Yes, people, welcome back to Premzy TV. I hope everybody is blessed. We've got a special guest in the building, Harry, all the way from Japan to preview the Arsenal versus Tottenham game. How are you doing, Harry? Talk to me. It's been a while.
Get in!
Almost.
Mate, it's so good to see you. Premzy, man, here we are after 5 years, is it? And we're possibly 90 minutes away from a Champions League spot, and we can seal it in our good old friend's backyard, the old Tottenham Hotspur. It can't get any more exciting and more satisfying than this. Really looking forward to it, man.
No, most definitely. Look, we've just come off a good win against Leeds. Personally, I wanted us to absolutely annihilate them because in the position that we was in, we should have put them to bed. But you know what? Sometimes the most important thing is the 3 points. What did you make of the Leeds game?
It's true, mate. After being 2-0, then being a man down, I was looking at 5-0, 6-0, get that goal difference up close to the old Hotspur. But, we don't get easy games, man.
No.
It's a fact. This year, not a single bloody easy game. Heart attack after heart attack, ulcer after ulcer, toothache after toothache. It's mental, but this is the way of the Gooner life, innit? Especially in 2021 and 2022.
No, most definitely.
That's good. 3 points. That's all I wanted. 3 points is fine.
No, I hear that. I feel like, you know what? See, with Arteta, obviously, you know where I was at with Arteta. I think he has slowly started to sway my mind a bit. Obviously, top four is not all the be-all and end-all for Arsenal Football Club, Harry. You get me? Like, that is where we should be anyway. You get me? And hats off to him if he gets us that position, because I didn't expect him to get us that position at the start of the season.
Totally.
And like I've said to many people, if he does get us that position, I'm more than happy to give him a crack next season and see what he can do. If it doesn't work out, then we can always look to bring in someone else, because he's only on an extra 2-year contract. It's not massive. And then get someone to build on what he's made. Well, you've got to give him some credit, man.
You've got to give him some credit. Listen, the January transfer market, you know what happened? Vlahovic, all that banter about Vlahovic, no center, no striker coming in. I thought, fuck it, man, that's impossible. It's not happening. It's just not happening. Top four, no bloody way. Probably get ourselves into the 7th spot. I've even forgotten what the name of that league is.
Conference League.
Conference League. Exactly, mate.
It's that shit. You don't even know what it is.
Mate, hats off, man. Hats off. Especially after losing 3 on the trot versus Palace. And then was it Brighton and then Saints? Yeah, I thought that's the end, man.
Yeah.
But then the way he's actually manufactured this comeback, after all the drama we've had with Aubameyang and also with Ozil, it's hats off to him, man. And mate, with the great song behind us, the new song, mate, that's a tune.
You know what? Yeah, I wanted something like that for a long time, because I'm not gonna lie, like you see City, you see Liverpool, they've got Blue
You'll never walk alone. It's a monster of a tune.
And you know what? It gives the players something. It gives them that little lift, that little bit of energy. Obviously, it gets everybody involved, even the people that rarely sing. It'll get them involved. The atmosphere is cracking. And to be fair, it's only going to add. And if it's only going to add, that's only going to be benefit to Arsenal. And to be fair, if Arteta's put that into play, well done to him. Because I seen on the fella's Instagram as well a couple of days ago that he was there with a few of the players and Arteta. So it looks like something that's been put together, and maybe he might have, orchestrated that. And if he is, well done to him. But like I said, even though we are favourites of the Champions League, we still got to go to Tottenham and for me, beat Tottenham. I don't want to see us going to Spurs and just resting on our laurels and playing a very, very careful game. Don't get me wrong. I want us to manage the game well. However, I don't want us to just be sitting there thinking, right, we don't need to win this game, because for me, we win that game, is all done and dusted. You get me? We're in the Champions League, and then it puts mounts of pressure on Chelsea as well, because that means if we get that third spot, we don't even have to go through the qualifying rounds for the Champions League, which is obviously is less pressure and it's a bit more comfortable. We can all sit there in our summer holidays and enjoy it, thinking, you know what, we could fly away and go and watch our team in Europe. But we don't want to be flying away in Europe and getting absolutely pumped up. So where he didn't sign players in January, because that could have fallen really bad, he has to now sign quality players with a bit of experience that can mix it up with a bit of the youth that we've got now. Because in the Champions League, a youth team is not going to be able to pull out performances and results week after week.
Our
It's not going to happen.
is too thin for the moment. You know, we are so lucky. We are so blessed that El Neni and Eddie have managed to bring out performance after performance after those 3 losses in a row. You know, it's incredible how they've turned it around. And El Neni, man, I want to apologize to Stricto because I slated El Neni the last time we spoke with Stricto, you know, and he was all like, you know, we've got to get El Neni back in the team. And like, he's done a great job, mate. He's like, as you say, a Mascherano, you know, he's boss. He's like a bulldog. He's like a bull terrier in the middle of the field, you know. He's done so well. So hats off to him.
Yeah, no, Mohamed El Neni, you know what it is with me as well, though, Harry. I see with me, I think he has done well. I think Eddie Nketiah has done well. But I think where us as fans need to realise is when to move on from players. Because it's very easy for us to now give Mohamed El Neni a 4 or 5 year contract. Also give Eddie another 4 or 5 year contract. And it goes back to square one. I wouldn't mind giving El Neni a 1 year extension because I feel like a player like him with such professionalism can come into the team in a Champions League game if it's, you know, off the bench and shore up things. And I think if we're looking to spend a lot more money up front and maybe bring in one midfielder and, you know, maybe another fallback, then I wouldn't mind giving him a 1 year extension, but I wouldn't be signing him 3-4 years because I still think there's a lot better than Mohamed El Neni out there. And if we want to reach the heights of a Man City and a Liverpool, we definitely got to be improving on these.
I get you, man. I get you, man.
You get me?
I do.
I just want to ask you one question.
Yeah.
What did you make of Tomiyasu at
left back?
Yeah. What did you make of that?
I had no idea. Listen, he doesn't play left back for the Japanese national side, but when the Japanese play a back 3, he slots in, you know, on the left-hand side of the 3. I've seen that before. But him playing left back, I did not see that coming. And what do you make of it? He was brilliant. I thought he was excellent. Let me just read this out. I've got a Japanese follower here saying, this person over here, Sanko Nico, thinks Tavares on the left is good. However, the defense, you know, kind of gets weaker with the link between Tavares and Martinelli. So he or she wants to go for Smith Rowe with Tavares on the left. I'm not sure if it's for the game against Spurs, but I mean, Tomiyasu in left back has changed the landscape massively. However, do we want Tomiyasu to go against Kulusevski, or is it Son Heung-min that we want Tommy against? What do you reckon?
Yeah, I'd put it straight out there. I personally, I think he didn't do anything wrong, Tomiyasu at left back, but I don't think we're getting as half of the potential of what he can give us in that position because he doesn't look as comfortable, and that's only natural because it's not his position. I feel like we should bring Tommy back in as a right back and play Cedric out on the left, because with Nuno Tavares in a game of that capacity against Tottenham, he's a bit of a reckless player in a sense of holding his position.
Yeah, and he's chaos, man. He's chaos all over.
But he does cause some dangerous scenarios going forward. And like we said, he got the early goal a few weeks back. And since we had them 3 defeats on a bounce, he's actually, like, the one thing that I must give Arsenal credit for is, apart from the West Ham game, we've got that early goal and managed to get the foothold in the game. And I think that's what we need against Tottenham. I feel like we can't just sit there and hope for them to come on to us. I think we need to go there and just put them to bed.
Question. How do we want us to play against Spurs? You know, because Spurs, 3 points, that's what they need. They're going to come at us. Are we going to lay back? Because Spurs find it difficult playing against a team that, you know, drops back, you know, gets the fullbacks like sitting down, take away the space between the channels. However, I get your point, you know, and Arsenal sitting back, lethargic, rhythm, motivation. I think they'll grind us out if we do that in the space of 60 minutes, if not an early goal. It's going to be difficult, man. It's going to be difficult.
I hear you. I feel like we have to go and be the team on the front foot, because at the end of the day, you just got to look at it as one final. You win this game and you've cemented Champions League, and you've not only done it, you've done it against Tottenham.
In history, man. Beating Spurs. It's like beating Spurs and getting the the Premiership a while back. But if we could do it in their own back garden, man.
Yeah, do you know what? Yeah, look, we won the league there at White Hart Lane. This is their new stadium. This is to make a little bit of history. I know it's not of massive significance. It's not like we're winning a trophy, but it's always good to get one over Tottenham. And at the end of the day, it'd be putting them out of the Champions League, which will only alter their progression, because they have got a top manager in Antonio Conte, and he can draw players, which is without a shadow of a doubt. But we do get Champions League football. There'll be certain players, certain opportunities there that we'll be able to get our hands on and grab. And I think that has been a key to our collapse, in a sense, being out of Champions League. I think if we had a better manager being in Champions League, then I think the team would have grew, because it was only inevitable. But yeah, Harry, what I want to ask you next is, Arteta's got his new contract now, yeah? Now, would you have given him that contract at the end of the season, once everything's over and done with, and to keep him motivated, keep him hungry, or do you think they've done the right thing?
Mate, you don't know how true it is, but they say they gave him the contract after those 3 losses in a row, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing as well.
That's mental, man. That is a mental time to be giving him a new contract. I don't think it's a bad decision. It's a gamble. It's a massive gamble, but I think it's going to pay off, mate. What's your verdict?
Do you know what? For me, it's still a little bit early to say. I think they should have held out. They should have waited till we got Champions League football, because, to be honest, if we don't cement Champions League football, I feel like the club's not progressing and is not progressing fast enough. So I wouldn't mind maybe looking at bringing in an experienced manager, somebody like a Roberto Mancini, somebody who's won the Premier League before and then can build on the team that we've got now. And I feel like if they just waited a little, it would have kept him a little bit more hungry, a little bit more motivated to cement the Champions League. And obviously, I'm not saying that he's not now, but it's just another incentive, ain't it, really? Now he's got it. If he does cement the Champions League, like I said, it's only fair to give him that crack to see what he can do next season. But if we fall miles off, and when I mean miles off, I mean not just out the Champions League. I want to see us be in and around Man City and Liverpool. And I'm not saying competing with them, but maybe even if we're 6-7 points off them. I know that it might sound like a mindset of, we want to win, but I'm just being a little bit realistic. At least then, going into it, we know we're not so far off. Next season could come. Anything can happen. And that's all we want as fans, is just a little bit of hope that, we can win these big trophies, because that's just how I see it. And I think you can't really get much fairer than that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, wise. It's wise. It's wise, man.
But yeah, I think the game is going to be a tense game. I think there's going to be nerves from both sides. I feel like.
Well, how do you want us to play? Do you want us to play a back 4, back 3?
No, back 4, definitely back 4. I don't think we should be going there with a back 3.
You're not going to believe in the history about, Conte's played Arsenal, regardless of being with Spurs or with Chelsea, 8 times and only won once. Yeah. And every time we play a back 3, he finds it very hard, apparently, according to history on Twitter. Back 4 then. Yeah.
The reason I go for a back 4, I can see why people would go for a back 3, because allegedly Ben White might be fit to come back into the team. Saka should be fit. For some reason, I got a sneaky feeling that Partey might come in or might play some part in the game, because he only had a hamstring injury. And to be fair, hamstring injury keeps you out for a few weeks, and it has been a few weeks. I've not really heard much about him. So I wouldn't be surprised if Partey has a sneaky appearance, to be honest.
They're keeping him quiet, but would you jump him into it? No, I wouldn't.
No. I'll keep El Nene. I just, for example, if we're leading and we just want to shore things up, Partey is a fantastic player to bring on, just to bring a bit of composure in the middle of the pitch, because I don't think there's anybody in our team, or not many players in the Premier League, that has the time and space Partey does to play.
His ball control, his awareness, and I love how he smashes it into, or what was lack of there. But I want to see Partey playing with Eddie, because there's been a massive improvement in Eddie's game, because You remember him coming off the bench and being lethargic and being slow and not running about the place. But now he's running all over the place, and he really pushes back the defensive line, you know. So Partey pinging in those low balls into Eddie, dropping it into Smith Rowe or into Odegaard. Odegaard, man, he's turned into a little magician, hasn't he?
Yeah. Do you know what? Is a player that Arsenal Football Club has been lacking, I think, since Santi Cazorla. Now, I'm not going to tarnish him with the same brush as Santi, because I love Santi Cazorla, and I think what Santi Cazorla did for Arsenal, even though we didn't win major honours, he was just magic to watch. He was ball-footed.
Yeah, FA Cup final. Remember that free kick?
Yeah. Oh, bro, I'm telling you, even against West Ham, do you remember that free kick at Upton Park?
Of course.
Smacked it in like 35 yards out. Like with what we're seeing now is with Martin Odegaard, he's starting to fill that role of that connecting player, where obviously I have said we're going to have to take a little bit of time to see how he settles into the Premier League. As fans, we can't just jump on the bandwagon and rate people straight away and say, right, this is the guy, this is the next person who's going to come in and unlock all defenses. We have to give them a little bit of time to see if it's going to work out or not. I think this season, towards the back end of the season, he really has grown into his own. And with Odegaard, he has got the vision, and that's something that a lot of our players in the team,
leadership too, mate.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm surprised. I'm surprised how well he's actually done as a captain. Because for me, as you know, Kieran Tierney for me is our captain. Like, that's who I would want to be our captain. Like, I love Kieran Tierney.
Yeah, I love Kieran Tierney too. But it's kind of strange that he's not much of like a speaker. I mean, he shouts. He gets into Pepe's pants saying, what the fuck are you doing, and get moving and whatnot. However, it seems as though he's not much of a loud kind of leader that a kind of a Tony Adams would be.
No, I agree, but his performances on the pitch, they lead by example. Is, for example, like when we had an Aubameyang, he was leading by example with the goals and the work rate that he was putting in at that specific time. Now with Kieran Tierney, I feel like he'll give you anywhere between a 7 to a 10 every single game. And I think a captain needs to be able to do that. And I think if he did have the arm, and he's still a bit younger as well. So with a little bit of time, even if he wasn't the captain now, he could be a future captain for me, because I can see him staying here for a long time, because he's a player that just, you can see he was at Celtic. He's a loyal lad, and he's humble as well. And see, when a player's humble and they appreciate where they are, good things will end up happening. I think, just for me, obviously, I've just got a favourite player in Kieran Tierney because I just like what he stands for. So I just want him. But Odegaard has surprised me, and I think he's surprised a lot of other people as well, because he is the captain for, obviously, his country. But in the Premier League, being a captain's totally different. You know what I mean? You've really got to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and he's doing that.
And he understands Arteta's philosophy. If you just look at Odegaard in the games, he's actually pointing where he wants the ball to be played every so often, right? He's got that bit of class and leadership in there too. And he's got a great connection with our gaffer too at the same time, which was blooming, man. We'll just see if everyone's got the nuts to play Spurs in their own back garden. We'll see how definitely.
Let's see what Rochelle's saying here. Odegaard is class. He leads on the pitch consistently, pressing, taking instructions from the bench and encouraging others. And you know what? I can't really say anything wrong with that. Like, that's 100% true. I feel like we could still get a lot more out of him. I feel like maybe if we started to bring in better players into the team as well, that'll only help him. Obviously, you got to think he's still a young lad with a lot of experience as well. He's played with some world-class players. And at the moment, he's probably seeing potential within the team. But you add that 1-2 key player in the squad, and I think you'll start seeing the best out of Martin Odegaard. I just want to ask you, Harry, so with Tottenham now, do you think it's done for them? Even, say, for example, now, if we draw against Tottenham, that still keeps us 4 points. We're going to be playing against Newcastle and Everton.
Newcastle, and then Everton.
Everton fighting for the life. Newcastle, decent performances. Obviously, they got pumped by Man City. But I think they won like 10 games or something. What do you see? Do you reckon it's going to be sticky if we don't get this over the line?
Mate, if we manage to get a draw, I think it's the end of the story, to be honest. They got a really tricky fixture against Burnley, who are fighting for their lives. And my guess, I think Everton are going to scrape it before the final game. If that happens, the whole picture's different. The intensity is different. But we can't be saying this, that, whatnot. I think we should just go for the win, full stop. And it's going to be bitter. I can imagine who's there. Is it Romero? Am I getting the name right? They're tough centre back.
Romero. Yeah.
Romero. He's a good player, and he's got that mischievous element. That's probably going to get into Xhaka's pockets, mate. And there's going to be some serious banter between Xhaka and Romero. I can feel it already. And then there's the battle of the wing backs. Emerson Royale, who was rumored to be coming into Arsenal, he hasn't had a really good season, but of late, that game against Liverpool, he did all right, so Emerson, and then on the other side, there's Sessegnon, and then for us, it's going to be Tommy and Cedric, there's going to be all sorts of havoc up there. But as you say, mate, I want to see Tommy playing a right back, man.
Yeah, I think
that's the best place. He's got good connection, good feeling with Saka too.
Against Son, I think we need our best, definitely our best right back there, and Tommy is our best defensively. Yeah, I feel like he can improve going forward, but he's only young. He's only 22, 23, so he's got plenty of time to improve. All he's got to do is just find a little bit more of a cutting edge going forward, but he's defensively sound and solid, and that's what we need. At the end of the day, a defender's job is to defend first of all.
Did you see the Liverpool Spurs game?
Yeah, I watched the Spurs game. I personally think Spurs should have won that game.
They got that. Yeah, they did. That last chance with Højbjerg, getting it back to Kane. He should have headed it himself. But you saw how Sessegnon and Emerson kind of came back, and it was always kind of like a 2-on-1 against Salah or against Diaz on the other side. Yeah. I'm not sure if they're going to do that against us. And if Saka is isolated against Davies, mate, that's going to be messy. That's going to be messy for them, man.
I feel like Tottenham are going to have to come and win. They're going to have to try to win the game. I think everyone's expecting Tottenham to play like how they did versus Liverpool and sit back and counter. But I don't think they can afford to do that.
I think they're going to
afford to do that.
Try to go for it. Yeah. And it's going to be an open game, hopefully.
Yeah. Do you know what? Hopefully we could be able to manage the game well. Like, that's the one thing I want the players to do is keep the heads, not let the heads drop, not let the occasion get to them, and think, right, okay, because this is going to be the first game at the new Tottenham Stadium with all the fans. It's going to be electric. When you think about it, first North London derby there with all the fans, and there's so much riding on this game. There hasn't been a North London derby that's had so much riding on it before.
True.
It's one of them. Can Xhaka not get a red card? Can Eddie Nketiah find a goal, or is he not going to get snuffed out by Romero? And I just think we just shouldn't think about it too much. I think we should go in there. I think if we go in with a back five, we're sending out the wrong message to the players. I think if we go in with a back four, is basically is being on the front foot, and we have got the early goal in quite a few of the most recent games, so we should definitely look to do that again, Harry. But is there anything that I just wanted to ask you as well, just before I forget, Harry? Is there any specific signings you want to see coming into the new season? Because there's been massive talks of Sterling and Jesus coming in. I wanted to get your thoughts on that, or what the people think of them players in Japan.
I'm not a man for Sterling, mate. I don't see it happening because he's hardworking, but he hasn't got the intensity that Martinelli or the other Arsenal players do. Don't you reckon? I don't think Sterling is a good fit for Arsenal at all. For Jesus, a different story. I can see Jesus kind of fitting in, but to be honest, man, I want a target man playing up front. So Vlahovic was like dreamland for us, right? But obviously it didn't happen.
There's talk of that Darwin Núñez, that people liking that Núñez kid from Portuguese league or whatnot. But I think Jesus would be decent. But I think we do need like a target man, maybe like an Ivan Toney or somebody like that as a backup.
Ivan Toney, Calvert-Lewin, but obviously Calvert-Lewin's had a horrible season. Toney, I actually rate him quite a lot, man. How he holds the ball up, how he drops it in, and he's got football IQ too. But obviously, I don't think it would happen.
Yeah, he's quite a complete striker. He really. He's got everything in his locker. He can hold the ball up. He's got a good head on him. He's got a good touch. I just think maybe a couple more years in the Premier League, then you'll start seeing the best out of Ivan Toney. What about a Mitrovic?
Mitrovic? No.
Someone messaged me, on Instagram saying, Premzi, speak about Mitrovic. We need to sign him as a
quality.
Of
course
B.
He's quality, but it's quality because he's in a different league. We saw Mitrovic in the Premiership. We saw how he did.
That's exactly what I responded back to him and said, you know what? At the end of the day, it's a different league. And we've seen Mitrovic for Fulham in the Premier League, and he's not really set the house on fire. And his argument to me was, he was in the Premier League with Fulham, but he weren't around the greatest players. If you put him in a team that are going to be whipping in the ball like Arsenal do, then that could be a perfect kind of fit for a player like that. But like I said, I think we need to get something better than that. I just wanted to throw that out there because I was thinking about if you put Mitrovic, why someone?
I respect him, but not for Arsenal. No. Hey, I want to talk a bit about Saliba. I'm really excited about Saliba.
Go on,
mate. I think he's going to be an excellent addition to the squad next year.
Yeah.
We've seen him play in this season. He's just clean sheet after clean sheet, stopping or whoever, Neymar or Mbappe, whatnot, He's had his bad moments, but he's had a really decent, solid season in Ligue 1, and he's probably going to be in the best 11 of the season. Now, he comes back, and we're not going to have Ben White for the whole season, right? He's going to have to, especially if Champions League appears on our horizon, mate, Saliba, definitely, not even if he's not in the starting 11, he has to be there. He is going to be crucial for our next season.
I think when he comes into the team, I feel like he's going to have to definitely fight for his place, because I think with Ben White obviously coming into the team this season and him and Gabriel forming a partnership, I feel like a lot of work's going to have to be done in the training ground. But I don't think there's no reason why William Saliba can't come to Arsenal and cement his place alongside Gabriel, because I feel like he's young enough. He fits the mold of what's going on at the club.
He's quick. He's strong.
His timing of his tackles is unbelievable as well, and that's something that in the Premier League is vital. You know what I mean? If there's any comments on here, Harry.
Yeah.
Sorry, go on. If there's any comments that you see, Harry, because I can't understand all of them, just let me know which one, and I'll.
Okay, mate. No. Where are the comments, mate? I'm trying to.
Oh, can you not?
Bollocks! I wasn't looking at the comments. Yeah. Let me just go through them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that you can see.
We've got a message from Takeshi saying Tielemans. What do you guys reckon of Tielemans?
Oh, you know what? There's bits that I like about Tielemans. There's bits that I like about Tielemans, but there's bits that I feel like he's a bit of a liability in certain aspects. But he's brilliant going forward. And you know what? Coming into a team with maybe alongside a Thomas Partey might elevate him and get the best out of him. You know what these Belgian players are like. You've got Kevin De Bruyne there. Look what he was like at Chelsea. No one really thought that he was going to be the player that he is today. So Tielemans, if he's on offer and it's at a good price, we're not getting our pants pulled down, then yeah, I'll take him. Because
35 million, 30 million for Tielemans. I'll take him any day for that, man.
Yeah, 30 million. 30 million's a snatch. I'll take him for 30 million. You make profit on him anyway if it doesn't work out. Any more?
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Jesus and Sterling. There's a starting 11 hopeful from Nico-san saying, Ramsdale, Tommy, Ben White, Gabriel, Tavares, Partey, but Partey's not going to make it. Yeah. Come on, Nico, he's not going to be there. Partey, Xhaka, Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Eddie. Okay, yeah, I understand that, but Partey's not going to come back. Trust me. No. I mean, he might make it to the bench, but
yeah, that's the best we're going to get, really. If he is, obviously, that's just wishing, to be fair as well. Because I've not heard much about him, and he only had a hamstring. It's only a few weeks. That's what I was thinking. There's possibility he could make the bench, but. Like I said, it's just before we move on, I just want to get your predictions. I want to get your lineup that you want, and then we'll call it there for the North London derby. So first of all, give me your lineup.
My lineup, it's going to be classic. It's going to be 4-2-3-1. It's going to be obviously Ramsdale and then Tommy right back. And if Ben White makes it, I want Ben White to come back.
Okay.
I want Holding to come in the last 20 minutes. The classic Holdini in there.
Holdini.
Centre back, Gabriel. Left back, it's a big decision, but I'm going to go for Cedric. The two in the middle, obviously El Neni and Xhaka. Left, Martinelli, Odegaard. Right, Saka and Eddie up front. And I had all the respect for Pepe. Yeah, he's had a tough time, but his performance the other day off the bench was just, I was like, what's going on, man?
He had a good 30 minutes as well.
He had a good 30 minutes. And I'm not talking about that open goal he had, because that's not the problem. It was the running off the ball, and what's his face? Dan James is it? He was running his heart off, but Pepe couldn't outrun him at all, mate. He was getting outrun by like all these Leeds players who must have been knackered off their tits, So
I think his days are numbered now, and I think this summer he's definitely going to be going.
How much did we pay him for him?
75 mil. 72, 75 mil.
And he might be sold for 20, yeah?
About 26 million of that was just disappeared, innit? Inside Sanelli giving brown envelopes to people, and that, I'm telling you, that's what was on. Because we got ripped off royally with that deal. What's your prediction then, Harry?
2-1, mate. 2-1.
2-1.
2-1. An early goal from a corner.
Yeah.
Tomiyasu flicks it. Gabriel. There we go, mate.
I feel like it's going to be a tight game as well.
It's going to be tight, man.
I'm going to go for 1-0 to the Arsenal. I feel like we go there, snatch a 1-0, play well. It's going to be a hard-fought game, but we have been to places on our away record this season hasn't been horrendous, to be fair. We've actually had a decent away record considering over the last couple of seasons. And I think Tottenham, we just got to go there, put it on him, and they're going to be nervy. Like I said, at the end of the day, they've only got probably 2-3 players in that team that can really do anything. We nullify them, get a 1-0 win, and then that's it. Happy days, Champions League. You know what I'm saying, boys? But yeah, Harry, that's the end of the stream, people. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much for coming on.
Arsenal.
For all the comments, make sure you're liking, subscribing. Check out Harry as well if you're new to Harry. And people, come on, Arsenal! Come on, Arsenal!
Come on, Arsenal! Get in!